Kind of sounds good. Hey, shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom, shalom, beloved Akiam and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit power, mercy and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief lesson, talking to this latest video, that pretty much manifested through the spirit of Bishop Nate. And this is the stance that I want to say ISUPK in the form of what's his name, General Yohana. He had this same stance a couple of years ago regarding, God, hating, so-called white people, but they don't hate white people or whatever. And we know that white people, so-called white people, are the Edomites, right? They're self-proclaimed white, but when we're talking to the nations, all right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai despises Esau, and the other heathen nations are looked at as spittle, okay? Less than spittle, as a matter of fact, pursuant to Isaiah 40, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Now, as far as Bishop Nathaniel is concerned, now he's sitting up here on this podcast. I'm not sure what platform it is, but it's with an end of what have you. The beloved brother, Tazama, actually, I'm going to use his video, the brother from Dallas, GMS Dallas. And now we're going to just shed some light on some stuff, man, make it make sense. Now, what Bishop Nathaniel is doing, and brothers have made lessons on this, through the spirit. But I feel like through the spirit, I want to speak on this real quick. Now, what Bishop Nathaniel is doing is the title, as I titled, he's trimming his way. All right, he's trimming his way to seek love, is what he's doing. All right, pursuing the Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. Now, when you get that, now we know what this is going into, but what I did through the spirit was I put it in Google, right? I said, trimming your way to seek love meaning, right? It says, trimming your way, often phrased as trimming your way to seek love in biblical context, like Jeremiah 2:33, refers to the act of modifying one's behavior, adjusting one's principles, or altering one's lifestyle to gain favor. And who are you trying to gain favor from? The world. Watch this. Validation or love from others. It implies a sometimes deceptive effort to make oneself more appealing by compromising. All right? Similar to dressing up or painting a situation to appear better than it is. Watch this. All right? It also says this. It means to make good or adjust one's path in an artificial manner to win affection. Often used in a negative sense to describe compromising moral or spiritual standards to suit the world. All right, this is exactly what he's doing. All right, and we're going to get the receipt. And then we're going to go into the precepts and shed light on the reality of and contrary to what he's saying. All right, and it also proves, all right, that he truly doesn't fear. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to show you that. All right, Bishop Nathaniel doesn't truly fear. All right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let me get this precept real quick, and then we're going to get this clip. Bear with me, Yaki Amanakwa. This is the book of Ephesians. I'm going to go straight to the point. All right, chapter 5 and verse 17, it reads, "Wherefore, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is," bro. Okay? This is a critical aspect of a true pastor saint. All right? Understanding what the will of the Lord is, because that's what he's going to teach his flock. You see? And what you're going to come to the conclusion of with what Nate's doing, all right? He's pretty much glazing over a lack of fear for the Lord on his flock. You see? Having a misperception that they're not supposed to hate. All right? And we're going to get into the word hate. All right? And he's acting like a wizard is what he's doing. All right? Because he's doing the same thing Esau does, man. He's weaponizing words. And he's not showing, he honestly, bro, like, bro, he's not in alliance with the Lord. Right? He's not in alliance with the Lord, and we're going to show you that. He doesn't understand what the will of the Lord is, man. When you go into that word will, it goes into desire. Okay? And Bishop Nathaniel doesn't truly understand. He's sold out. You know? As the beloved elder Apostle Tahar has highlighted many times over, and we believe that through the Spirit. I mean, a man should be known by his fruit. All right? This man done took a big old bag. Okay? And he's out of there, but Lord willing, hey, I know that one of the elders had a dream of him getting the oil back, you know? Oh no, he had a dream of it, of him losing it and getting it back. Bishop Nate himself had that dream. So hey, we'll see what happens, man. Because one thing we do know is that the Lord, anything's possible with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, and there's more 2/3 than there is 1/3, so there is going to be a massive amount of Jake that fall left. Hold on for a second. I just get this time stamped up. Oh, here we go. Boom, perfect. Right where I need to be. All right, boom. Now let's do it the tall way.
Correction, he should have answered the question directly. Now listen, let's listen to this. Listen.
We're doing like this.
Earth is steal. Let them steal from you. And we're saying, that's not right. That's evil. You see the problem? God said you would be mad.
I guess that's why people think you're a hate group, is because they think you hate them because of what's going on. But you're angry.
God hates them. Jacob have I loved. Esau I have
hate
There you go,
them.
weaponizing the scripture.
We don't hate them. We don't hate anybody.
And that's all we really need to hear there. But you see him weaponize, you know, Malachi and Romans 9. He weaponized that, dressed it up, right? And then stood on the foundation of them not hating anybody. Wait, there's way more precepts in the Bible than just Malachi and Romans 9, okay? As far as that's concerned. But needless to say, we got to validate your stance, right? As a pastor, right? As a so-called pastor, as a so-called leader, as a so-called prophet, as a so-called seer, right? As a so-called believer, right? In Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Now, real quick. Now, I'm going to get this real quick. And again, we're going to get the word hate, but I'm going to get this precept real quick. When you go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, in verse 27, it says this: an unjust man is an abomination to the just, okay? And he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked, okay? So ultimately, the wicked, right? The unjust, an abomination to us, bro. If you're in the right spirit, all right, you would hate that. You would hate that behavior they come with, their mindset they have. You see? And vice versa. They hate us based off our upright conversation. You see? And our people hate us because we reprove in the gate. Right? Amos 5. Now watch this. I'm going to get this real quick. Hold on. What Bishop Nathaniel's doing when he's as he stands on that foundation of they don't hate nobody, right? He's justifying the wicked. Right? Proverbs 17:15. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord Yahweh, bro. All right, so this is the category that Bishop Nathaniel and his whole congregation is thrusted into with this mindset. Okay, because ultimately their leadership, with him standing on that foundation, he's justifying the wicked. He's aligning with them. He's not aligning with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and we're gonna show you. All right, see, because what did the Lord do? What did the Lord Yahweh Shai do? Let me go get this real quick. The Lord Yahweh Shai testified to this world, right? And he was on the earth during the time of the Romans, right? So who was ruling? Esau. Look it. I'm going to go straight to the point. The book of St. John chapter 7 in verse 6, and it reads, then Yahweh Shai said unto them, my time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. You see, in the true men of the Lord, they're going to testify of this world being evil. And what are they going to do? They're going to shake their hand, right? They're going to raise the banner, which is the Bible. And this word is going to go into the gates of the nobles, man. The men that are truly coming under the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai are going to have the same stance. They're going to testify, man, that the works thereof of this world are evil, bro. All right, and there's going to be a lot to be said about this place, bro, and about those that are ruling it. By the true angels, which are the messengers, which are the men of the Lord that have been sent, the prophets. Okay? Now watch this. When you get this word hate in the etymology online under a noun, it says what? Regard with extreme ill will, right? Have a passionate averration to. So that's what we want to hold in on real quick, right? Have a passionate averration to, right? When you get this word averration, it translates to what?
Aversion.
Aversion means what? A strong dislike or disinclination. Okay, a strong dislike or disinclination. Does this mean you're going to descend upon the Edomite, all right, or a heathen, all right, because you hate them? No, absolutely not. It just means you have a strong dislike or disinclination to, bro, right? Look at a few similar word, avoidance, right? Shunning, hostility. And that word shunning, That's the spirit. That reminds me of Apostle Paul. Right, let's get a quick precept real quick as a matter of fact. Because this is because Bishop Nathaniel's doing the opposite of this. This is the book of Acts chapter 20 in verse 27, and it reads, I'm going to read verse 26, and it reads, wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men. Okay, why? Because Apostle Paul told the truth and nothing but the truth, so help him Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. He didn't cut no corners. Look, for I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And what's part of the counsel of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua? These precepts, man, these commandments, bro. When you go to the book of Proverbs, going back to the statement I made earlier regarding Bishop Nathaniel not fearing the Lord. He don't fear him. And this proves it right here. Look at Proverbs, what's this? Proverbs 8 and 13. It reads this. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. All right? And the froward mouth do I hate. All right, this is the behavior. This is what the world is aligned with. Real time with Esau leading that charge. So of course we're gonna hate this world and them not rule it. Why? Because we fear the Lord. You see that? We fear the Lord. When you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, it tells us that there's a time to love and there's a time to hate. Okay, there's a time for these things, bro. The word hate doesn't mean what Esau done dressed it up to mean. Bear with me. No, Esau, all right, he's displayed hate in the form of the actions that he's displayed throughout the course of time and history, man. All right, we don't have that. We don't have that track record, man. Okay, we can turn the tables on Esau and say, wait a minute, man, because here it is. He's dressing us up as domestic tease for hate speech and all that other stuff. He's counter-reacting his own behavior, bro. He's trying to. You know, he's the one that's guilty. He's the one that should be backpedaling. He's the one whose back should be up against the wall, man. You know, he's guilty. History testifies against him, bro. Wikipedia testifies against him, bro. All right, Google testifies against him, bro. These textbooks and the Smithsonian and these museums testify against Esau, man. You see? The system that we live in as we know it, bro, testifies against him. You see that? We have nothing to be ashamed of regarding this. Bishop Nathaniel is ashamed of the doctrine. Okay? But going back to what the beloved Apostle Paul said, let's go again. Let's go back to Acts 20 and 27. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Okay? All the counsel of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And we're going to let you know all of it. All right? Just like the true prophets did, man. We're not going to cut corners, man, and trim our ways to seek love, man. And that's exactly what dude's doing. You see? He doesn't fear the Lord, bro. He doesn't fear the Lord. Let me see something. Let me go back to that. Let's listen a little more.
Y'all heard that, right? Let's run this back so we ain't putting words in his mouth, right? The script does not the scripture say this? Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? What's that psalm? I ain't read that in a while. Well, we can actually read this one and I'll get the other one. This is Psalm 97 and 10. It says, ye that love Yahweh hate evil.
Yep.
All right, and who's the evil man on the planet?
Evil.
Okay, the scripture. So pretty much, Bishop Nathaniel pretty much sounds pretty much like those individuals that say, well, hate the sin, but love the sinner. Well, the scripture said that the Lord hates sinners.
Right.
Okay. Hey, did not King David does not the scripture say that King David had a mind? You know, his mind was directed towards the mind of the Most High. He desired to do His will. You know. So you goddamn right we hate so-called white people. We hate Edomites. That's the thing. He should have corrected it. No, we hate the Edomites. You see, because there's not a such thing as so-called white. There's not a such thing as white people and black people and brown people. Those are social constructs that were pretty much placed upon our people as proverbs and bywords, and to really categorize our people. You know, so you see, the term white didn't come about until 1681. You know, that's when so-called white people was the term white people was created, which is really used to set a division between. It was pretty much to set up a hierarchy. Okay. Once again, it says, "Ye that love Yahweh hate evil," and just also too, you can read up on Bacon's rebellion to get more information on that. It says, "He preserveth the souls of his saints; he delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked." Now let's get "Do not I hate them, O Lord, I hate thee." Do not I hate them. Psalm 139. That's what it is. All right, Psalm 139, verse 21. It says, "Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?" And who's the ones that's rising up against Yahweh Bashem Shai? Who's the one that's trying to set up this AI technocracy on the planet Earth and feign themselves as if he is the Most High? The so-called self-proclaimed white man, man. Let's just keep it funky and keep it a buck. All right? And these Edomites, they hate the Lord. And they hate us too. There's a conspiracy against us, as it says in Psalm 83. Right? It says, "Am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?" It says, I hate them with perfect hatred. You see, we have a perfect hatred towards Edomites, man. Okay, just as they have a perfect hatred towards us, we have a perfect hatred towards them. You see? It says, "I count them mine enemies." And we have enemies. Our enemies are listed in Psalm 83. But once again, you have Bishop Nathaniel trimming his way to seek love just because he wants to sound politically correct. You know, he wants to sound easygoing to the masses. Let's listen to this bullshit again. That's gonna be the thumbnail right there.
Mad. God says you will be mad. Society is saying you shouldn't be mad. Let friends steal. Let America steal. Let them steal from you. And we're saying that's not right. That's evil. You see the problem? God said you would be mad.
I guess that's why people think you're a hate group, is because they think you hate them because of what's going on, or you're angry.
God hate.
Hate is a very harsh word. You know, hate just means to like less. You abhor, like, you know.
You heard old girl? She was like, "Oh, yeah, that's why the world thinks you hate and that you're angry." Wait a minute, man. Hey, we're pissed off, bro. Okay, we're pissed, man. We are pissed. You better believe it. But the scriptures say this. The book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26, and it reads, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is going to justify. The Lord said, "Wait ye upon him." Okay? Until he rises up against the prey, bro. Okay? We're not gonna take our own vengeance in our own hands, man. Nah, man, the Lord's gonna deal. But we are in the right spirit, right? We are in the right mind, right, to hate our enemies, bro. That does not mean you're gonna descend upon them with violence. It doesn't mean that. You see? It does not mean that. But again, that's what Esau has drawn up, because he's exercised that type of behavior under the guise of the word hate. You see? But in reality, no, we just have an aberration or an aversion towards, wickedness, arrogancy, a forward mouth. Matter of fact, let me get that in the Good News Bible. That's the spirit. Let me get that. What was that? Proverbs 8 and 13 real quick on the Good News Bible. It reads this. Oh my goodness. To honor the Lord Yahweh is to hate evil, bro. You see? They're not honoring the Lord. They don't fear the Lord. When you fear the Lord, you're honoring him, man. They don't fear. There's no healthy fear within the doctrine coming out of the IUIC congregation. Okay? They don't fear the Lord. They fear Esau. That's who they fear. That's why they're turning from the reality of that talking point. You see? To honor the Lord Yahweh. Proverbs 8 and 13 in the Good News Bible. To honor the Lord Yahweh is to hate evil. Okay? Esau is the evil man. He's the wicked, pursuant to Malachi, the 1st chapter, in the 4th verse. Okay, look at, I hate pride. It says, I hate pride. This is the Lord, right? And arrogance, evil ways, and false words, bro. Okay? So guess what? This is the stead that we come under. If you truly fear the Lord, if you truly honor him and love him, you will have this type of this type of mind. You know, and the Lord's gonna be good unto you, man. You know, because matter of fact, we can close out with this, bro. What's that? Is that Psalm 73 in verse 1? Yeah, there we go. Man, the Good News Bible is fire. All right, this is yeah, I'm gonna get in the Good News Bible, right? This is Psalm 73 and 1. It reads this: Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is indeed good to Israel, to those who have pure hearts. See, it hits you with the comma, and then it lets you know that because there's a separation. All right, Yahweh is indeed good to Israel, to those who have pure hearts. That word heart going back to the word lab, and then Lashawan Kwadash, the Paleo Hebrew, which is your mind. Okay, a pure mind. All right, and your pure mind, guess what? You will be operating under the guise of the mind of Mashiach. Okay, you better believe Yahweh Shai hated those Romans, man. Who do you think the Lord's gunning for, bro? All right, when he comes back, all we gotta do is go to the book of Psalms, the 63rd chapter. You see? Matter of fact, I'm sorry, not Psalms, forgive me. Isaiah. Let me get this real quick. The book of Isaiah, chapter 63 and 1, and it reads, Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, bro? Okay, Edom. Remember, Esau is Edom, pursuing the Genesis, the 36th chapter and the 1st verse, and the 8th verse as well. Esau is Edom. So wherever Esau is at, that's Edom. Okay, the landmass. Basra, the capital of Edom, is talking to America. It's talking to this northern hemisphere, bro. All right, this northwestern hemisphere. All right, with dyed garments from Basra, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak righteousness, mighty to save. This is Yahweh Shai. On his way on that fathership, bro. And guess where his crosshairs are locked on? Babylon the Great, man. Okay, the land of the north. Okay, the land of the north. He's gunning for Esau. Okay, he's gunning for him, bro, because they're the top of the list. They're at the top of the list when it comes to the Lord's judgment upon the heathen. Psalms, the 83rd chapter. They're mentioned first, and then they're mentioned again in the form of Amalek. The Lord got it out for Esau, man. All right, why do you think when you go to Proverbs 3, it tells us that the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked? All right, you read Isaiah 34, it mentions Edom. You see? Regarding the Lord's sword is going to what? Let's go get it. We can close out with that. The book of Isaiah 34 and verse 5, and it reads, My sword should be bathed in heaven, the sword being the missiles, right? Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is the Greek and Latin way to say Edom. Okay? Talking to Esau. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. Esau's curse. You read the Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary, it tells us they're the only neighbor of the Israelites that will promise no mercy by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Why? Because he hates them. All right? And how is that lack of mercy gonna be exercised. Ezekiel 25:14. Evil E and the rest of these heathen are gonna fall into the hands of Yasha Allah. That's the reality. All right, they're gonna serve 1,000-year captivity in the eon to come. All right, and then Esau is going to be, he's gonna receive his sentence. All right, pursuing the Obadiah 1:18, and the heathen are gonna be able to live happily ever after, unless they go off, which they're going to be from time to time, in the paradise, man. In the Garden East of Eden, which the earth is going to be likened unto the Garden East of Eden again. It's going to be a paradise, right? But that 1,000-year process must happen. That 1,000-year captivity for the heathen must happen. It must occur, But just going back to the point, hey, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, bro. To honor the Lord is to hate evil, arrogancy, a lying mouth, all that, bro. Evil E and the rest of these heathen, bro. That's the reality of this thing. And the true believers are going to stand on that. All right, and again, I got to reiterate it. Just because you have an aversion towards someone, all right, doesn't mean you're going to descend upon them. All right, Esau has done dressed it up in that fashion. Oh, that's a harsh word. You heard Nate? Hey, doesn't mean you're going to react. Doesn't mean there's going to be an action behind it, though. You could hate apple pie. That doesn't mean you go to the grocery store, all right, and you're in the pastry aisle, and every apple pie you see, you're smashing it on the ground. You're throwing it across the supermarket. I hate apple pie. And you just, you know what I mean? Come on, man. And this is the reality of this thing, bro. This is the reality, man. All right? And that's the point. Beloved Akim and Akwab, hey, old boy, Bishop Nathaniel, is going off once again. All right? He's going off once again. He is creating it's very dangerous what he's doing as well, because he's putting his congregation in a position of victims, man. Because now they're looking at situations, not realizing, like, bro, never trust your enemy, man. You better watch out. All right, for him right there and them over there, they're not being circumspect. That's the type of doctrine that he's pushing, but not having a mindset of understanding that you have enemies that you're supposed to avoid, So, hey, Lord willing, you beloved Akim and Akwat were edified. Abaratazah, you were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. All right, hey, Lord willing, Abaratazah, you were informed through the spirit. And with that, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Till next time, beloved Akim and Akwat. Till next time, Shalom.